Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Steel Curtain Network fans, listeners, subscribers, live chat fam. Shout out to everybody. Thanks for joining the homie Tate, the homie Big-G, and the triple OG Shannon White on another Wednesday night. We realize you could be anywhere, but you choose to be here with us this evening to get this Steeler news, to get this Steeler boost. So, we just appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Big-G, what's happening, man?
What's cracking, man? Y'all got to excuse my background, man. I'm under construction. I got some new stuff going to jump off, man. But I had to represent as full as I possibly can for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because guess what, man? If it's going down, let's get it over with. But we ain't going out without a fight. So I'm representing the Steelers all the way. Forget them bum rat birds. They trash. They big trash. They always going to be trash. And we're going to get the dub. But we're going to talk about that in the show, man. What's going on with y'all, man? What's going on, Shannon? What's happening with you, man?
I'm just happy to have internet tonight so I can be on here and talk some Steelers with my brothers.
Facts. Where my sign at, Shannon? You getting a sign early. Facts. Full facts.
That was full facts, Big G.
Full facts. Hold on. I got to get the two hands. Full facts. Let's go, Shannon. Full facts.
9 times out of 10, Shannon always come with the full facts. It's that one time out of 10 that he be off on his own sometime.
Shannon likes to go knock on the door of Claude in the Matrix and say, what's cracking? Every now and then he goes in the Matrix and tell Claude, what's cracking, man? What's cracking?
Yeah, man. So you guys, here where I'm at, the DMV, I'm about 15 miles right outside of DC. We got like 14 inches of snow on Monday. So, Ohio, where I'm from, that we eat that. I've been here 20 years now, and I always say how you take the cold, how you take the snow, it's all relative to wherever you at now in life. Mm-hmm. So, 14 inches and 25, 30-degree temperatures, that's real cold for me nowadays.
Man, you done got soft.
I done got soft.
Over there by them rat birds and got soft. Man, we eat that. That ain't nothing.
That ain't. Hey, it used to not be nothing, Big G. That's why I said it's relative.
You got to get away from them rat birds, man. Get out of that area, man. Get out of that area. You need to come back in the cold. I'm
about 60 miles south of Baltimore, so they probably get a little worse up there than I do here. But Shannon, you say you got some weather, man. What's going on with your weather?
Yeah, we're staying in the teens for highs during the days and down around 0 at night. And we only got about 4 inches of snow, but we got a half inch of ice. Ooh. And when that happens, we have so much forest and trees and limbs fall, trees fall, takes power lines down. So like Monday, we had nothing, no phone, no internet. Thankfully, we kept power, but I didn't get to do the hangover. So I'm definitely glad to be here tonight.
Hey, man, well, per usual, we glad to have you. Big G, what's your weather like, man?
Cold as hell. Snow all over the place. It was snowing today when I came down in the basement. I looked out the window. I said, oh, no. Come on back in, down in the basement, and sat on down.
I'm sure you had more cold than me, but I say 25 to 30 was cold, but last night, and from yesterday, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening through the night, it was 19 degrees here.
That still ain't nothing. That's soft. Come on, where it gets into negatives, man. Like it'd be like 9 degrees, but with the wind chill, it's like -5. Yeah, that'll get your skin tough. That'll get you ready, boy. That'll get you ready.
Hey, Big G, I don't got it in me no more, man.
You done?
Like you said, I done got soft. Man. I ain't even ashamed of it either.
Yeah. Hey, man. Yes, sir.
Is that a fitted cap?
Yeah. 7 3/4, man.
Oh, I was going to say,
7 3/4. Fit perfect.
That's more
7
like
and
a 9 3/4. You probably really wear a 7 3/4.
Yeah, it's like it's 7 3/4, man. It fit perfect.
How come? How come we switched back to snapbacks that are more popular than fitted hats, the new eras?
That's them youngsters. They don't understand the power in a fitted cap, man. They
Man, I
don't.
used to-
You know what? You know what it is? Because they didn't grow up around King Griffey Jr. That's what it is. They didn't grow up around Griff.
Mm.
You know, that's what it is.
Yeah, man. I used to have about 40 fitted caps, and you know this back in the early 2000s. Them jokers used to cost about $40 a piece.
They still like that. They like 50 now.
Yeah, I know they got to be more now. I'm saying, but I had like between 40 and 50 of them. I came home one year after I first moved out here back in 05. I had a hat bin for all like a tall like you see the shoes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home one holiday. Might have been like my first Thanksgiving coming home from when I moved out here in 05. This might have been Thanksgiving 05. I gave all my hats to my brother. I gave them to my cousin, Lance, and some other people. Gave them all away. I stopped wearing hats like caps because I felt like it was making my hairline recede too much, man, pulling it off and on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of gave the cap game up more than usual. Sometimes I wear one, but not often.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Big G was going with the fitted cap tonight because his head's that big with the success of Ohio State, and he needed a hat that would fit.
Yeah, it's something like that, Shannon. But guess what? I got an Ohio State hat just like this too. I got one just like it too.
Speaking of which, you're not going to be on the homies Friday, Big G, because you got some Ohio State shindig to go to. Watch party or something?
Yeah. I'll get to rub elbows with some very important people, but you know, it's all about getting that brisket meat, man. You know, I've been dealing with them Texas jokers all week. They've been talking crazy to me, man, saying that Ohio State, my brother did a little song out there talking about hook 'em and all. Get that big trash mess out of there. We're going to beat the brake shoes off of them.
I heard that song. He made it like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
He was going to send it to Texas to be one of their hype songs, right?
Damn.
They
know better. No, ain't no buckle up. Ain't no buckle. Shout out to Mecca Don, my boy, buckle up. Get ready to buckle up, Texas. You in for it. We're on the wrong show.
He's on. I see him on Facebook today, though. He put a post up talking about we crazy and we don't think Texas got a chance and blah, 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 blah.
I want to hear all that.
Yeah, so we got a super chat from the homie Danny Littlejohn. Thanks, Danny. Absolutely. We appreciate you, man. Praying for California. Definitely praying for California, man.
Yeah.
For what? Probably for all 20 million people in California. Maybe a little more than 20 million in California. Yeah. But yeah, me and Big G have lots of family out there too. So, you know, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Prayers going up. Far as I know, far as I've heard, everybody in my family has reported themselves to be safe. So that's good.
Yeah. I talked to some more people tonight, Tate. You know already. And they said that they're safe, but they said it's scary, bro. So, yeah, absolutely praying for those families, man. Absolutely. We got another super chat from the Matrix General, dog. He done put some money in already.
Where Claude at? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read it. Thanks for the super chat, Claude, for that 5 on it. We appreciate it, man. Claude got 5 on it once again, coming from the Matrix land. Go ahead and read the super chat, Big G.
It said, would you guys consider this season a success when they beat the Ratbirds this weekend?
What? That from Claude?
I can't believe it myself, Claude. You trying to get out the Matrix before we Katie bar the door for the season over with, dog. I understand. You're trying to slip on out of there, man. I know. I get it.
Tell me this real quick, man. And then we're going to shout out everybody we see in the live chat. And we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to come back and talk about football and you know, the game and the keys to the games. And actually, this show was about keep that same positive energy, Steeler Nation, you had when the Steelers were 10-3. Because, you know, right now in the playoffs, we all start out 0-0. So we're going to go from there. We're going to talk about that. I believe I'm taking the positive perspective. I never know where Big G is at. I think this is one of the weeks Shannon might be devil's advocate with us. and let us know why it's a tough hill to climb. But nonetheless, like Big G said, I think it's a climbable hill. But
Tate, you know
yeah,
where I'm at. You know where I'm at. I'm in the streets. That's where I'm at, and that's where I'm gonna stay at. I'm out here in these streets. So yeah,
man. But
I'm gonna
if
tell
you in Pittsburgh, streets got hills too, man. I remember I went to stay with B Dirt a couple times, man. B Dirt lived in the house way at the top of one of the hills. I don't think he's in the same house now, but it was up a high hill. But
be out there
but
gas.
yeah, we made a week, we went to a Steelers Bengals game that year. I'm talking about for that trip. He came down here for the Steelers Redskins game too before, so we'd have been to a couple games before and stuff. Shout out to the homie B Dirt. But yeah, man. So let's thanks Claude again. Hey, first before we shout out to live chat and go to break, Big G. When Claude watched the game Saturday, the Steeler game,
okay, Willie,
is he gonna be happy from Friday's game with Penn State Notre Dame?
Yep.
He gonna be happy. So he gonna go into Saturday with a win under his belt already.
Yeah, he gonna be feeling good. But Claude's scary when it comes to Penn State, though. Shannon know too. He stick his chest out and talk all that mess, but Penn State, he's scary as all get up. Scary. Stop being scary, Claude. Put your chest out there, Claude.
Hey man, well let's thanks again, Claude, for the super chat. Let's shout out some of the live chat that are here. We take a break. I see the homie Gavin Anthony's in the building. The Major. Is the General here? You see Afton in the building?
Yep, Afton and Afton's mama up in here. Kathy, she here too.
Mother of Afton. Night Rider 76?
Yep.
16.
Yep.
16. Okay. Paranormal in the fun house.
Yep.
Steeler Girls 1277. Of course, the governor. Quad Father in the building. AFL 67.
Yep.
Feel that steel. Pause.
Facts. No diddy, no doubt.
Bake McCraps.
Yeah.
Brian Brown.
Yep.
Mother of Afton. Let's say the major one.
Yep. Big Marv, 34 up in here.
Big Marv.
Felicia. What's up, Felicia? What's up? What's cracking?
Felicia. Hey.
Yeah. Andre Green, man. What's the Woodside? We got a lot of folks, man. George
Yeah,
T,
man.
Juice Bellamy, what's cracking?
Juice
Devil.
in the building.
Yeah.
GT, George T, Jar Devil.
Yep,
But yeah, man. Thanks everybody for rocking with us, man. We already not even to the first break yet, about 12 minutes into this thing, and we almost up to 100 watchers. So come on, let's keep them numbers going up. You haven't hit the thumbs up button, hit it. But right now, we're gonna just pause for the calls, take a quick break. Hear from our sponsors and advertisers on the audio side. If you're watching on YouTube, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna be right here, and we're gonna be right back at you after this quick break. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast on Wednesday night. With Big G and the Triple OG Shannon. Shannon, we gonna kind of reverse engineer this show, man. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to start us off. How do you see this game playing out? And if you're picking the Ravens, you think the Ravens will win? You think the Steelers got a chance? Just go ahead and give us your thoughts on that.
Well, I want to apologize in advance. The last 4 weeks have broke me. I have been, I started to believe, as I talked on this podcast, after they beat Cincy and Cleveland, that, that they were kind of maybe a year ahead of the schedule, I thought, and that they could compete and be a contender this year. And that Russell Wilson was settling in, that George Pickens is overcoming some of his maturity issues. He was starting to deal with the injury, of course, and that the defense could come together as they was getting some pieces back. Anybody that's come here looking to get hope from me, I'm afraid I don't have any, and I'm gonna let them down, and I don't want to, but I'm always honest of what I'm feeling at that time. I've been totally wrong about certain things this year, about this team and this franchise, and I thought they had finally got off of this carousel of mediocrity, but they haven't. The last part of every season, you have to be getting better and improving heading into the playoffs. And we knew that the last 4 games was going to be tough, a murderer's row, if you will, that was going to test the Steelers and was going to show were they pretenders or contenders. And I'm sorry, they're pretenders. When you go up against the better teams, guys get exposed. Mason McCormick did a great job all year, but as the season went on, he wore down. He's young. He's inexperienced. He started going up against better defenses. And he just, wasn't able to rise up. Dan Moore, who I said was trash all year and was playing over his head, has been totally exposed 4 weeks in a row. And he made Hendrickson for Cincinnati look like James Harrison against the Ravens. He gave him 3.5 sacks and maybe give him the Defensive Player of the Year award. George Pickens, it's one thing. That man has been blessed with incredible athleticism. But if he wasn't a great athlete, I don't know if he's mature enough or smart enough to work at McDonald's. You got an opportunity just to show up and play hard every week. If you don't get past his 30, guess what? Nobody's going to blame you. They're going to blame Arthur Smith. They're going to blame Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. All you got to do is show the effort and the maturity, and you're getting ready to make $25 to $30 million. Money that anybody would die for. And he can't do it. So then he goes out in the biggest game of the year, and he disappears. And when he shows up, he drops three or four passes, wants to fight fans, and absolutely had one of the worst games I ever seen. I thought Lima Swede had done come back. I'm done with it. I'm just done with it. These teams, every year they lack discipline. They don't show steady, sustainable improvement. They can't hire a coordinator to save their life on either side of the ball. I don't see it getting better under Tomlin because Tomlin will have to get a quarterback and he can't develop one. He's a defensive-minded guy. Andy Reid, yes, he developed Pat Mahomes. Other guys can develop quarterbacks if you have the talent. But you got to have the talented guy. But I don't see Tomlin doing that because he's never had to. And it's not his background. I don't ever see the Steelers winning another Super Bowl under Mike Tomlin. And it's just the truth. Now, if somebody was crazy enough to give them 2 first-round picks, which is what it would take to get Tomlin, then the Steelers would be crazy not to do it because you're helping Tomlin, getting him out of Pittsburgh, and he can go somewhere else and prove himself. You're helping the franchise, and you're helping the fan base. Because, I mean, any fan that's been a fan for as long as we have, it's got to be tired of this roller coaster. It ain't even a roller coaster. Like I said, it's a merry-go-round. You just keep saying the same stuff. It never changes. And sometimes your message goes stale. Sometimes the standard is the standard. Ain't going to cut it anymore. And I think that's where we're at. Cam Hayward deserves better. TJ Watt deserves better. Watt got wore down this year because he was hopelessly double-teamed, chipped to death, asked to do, and then he gets hurt, and he has no chance to recover. You have to be proactive when you see this kind of decline. because we've seen what happened with JJ.
Mm.
But I mean, I love the Steelers. Now, the players and the coaches, they mean a lot because they've given so much to this franchise. But in the end, I love the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I want to see this franchise get back to their standard. And it hasn't happened under Art II. And I don't know if he's even capable since Dan's gone. But something has to change. Because it's hard to be disappointed at the end of every year. Maybe everybody else is fine with it. But the the over 500 record stuff, and you play to win everything. Every team wants to win the Super Bowl, unless you're the Browns or something like that. But look at Detroit. Look at what Dan Campbell and the company have been able to do with them. It is doable if you got the right people in place, the right leadership, the right character. I just don't think the Steelers do in any of those categories. So I think they're going to lose Saturday. I think that Lamar has something to prove. I think that they got Henry. I think that Harbaugh's figured out just to stay out of the way. And I just don't see the Steelers being able to overcome with all the issues they have. And it's not health. We wanted to blame it all on injuries and health. But I just think that there's more going on and more issues in Pittsburgh than we realize.
Tate, he tore it up. He tore it up. Don't get the big fine, Tate.
He did. And Claude said put Shannon in the Matrix.
I deserve it. But I'm being honest. I mean,
he's being honest to how he feels about it, and I think he hit on a few of his points. But just because Claude asked for it, and Claude kind of been like a regular dude today, Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta put you in there for a minute, man.
Man, they done switched roles, man. They done switched roles. Claude done hooked him up to a machine, and they put Claude's brain in Shannon's body, and Shannon's brain in Claude's body. What in the world is going on around here, man? What in the world is happening?
Just to piggyback off what Shannon said, I don't disagree with the message could be getting stale. I mean, I'm all for Coach Tomlin. I mean, but that doesn't mean that the message doesn't need to change. It doesn't mean that he doesn't need to hire a real offensive guy and change the way they play. They play close to the vest. Pittsburgh Steelers will muck it up, play an ugly game, keep it close, and try and win in the end. Where I think they should actually be going out, being aggressive, trying to put points up, and then turn that defense loose. Not putting so much pressure on the defense where they gotta hold teams to field goals. You try and go get up, and then you can turn the defense loose and let them hunt. I think that's one of the big things. Defensively, I wouldn't be mad to see Terrell Austin go. Arthur Smith, he's done a good job. I think Arthur Smith is handcuffed by Tomlin's football philosophy. I mean, they're similar, but I think Arthur Smith was opening up a little more than just running on first or second down into an 8-man box every time. That's Tomlin. So yeah. I agree there. But now Big-G and George Pickens is really immature. They potentially look to trade him this offseason, maybe. I wouldn't be mad if they did.
Look what Claude said now. Man, I'm telling you, they done switched bodies, dog. Something strange going on around here, man. Claude Bishop said, whoa. Go ahead, Tate.
No, go ahead and read Claude's comment because I want to comment off that real quick.
Claude for the two Binkers said, I agree with Shannon, but this matchup is perfect, man. Go ahead, Tate.
Well, I think we were looking to go to Houston. We thought maybe that might be a better matchup, like because Houston's offensive line is hurt. They got some receivers hurt. Houston's kind of been, up and down this year. But to play Baltimore and play a team that you're competitively, intimately involved with, play 2 times a year. So earlier today, man, I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to Jeff Hartman's Let's Ride podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It was his Q&A day. There was a question by one of his ride or die crew, Ed Cunningham. Shout out to Ed Cunningham. I'm gonna play that clip real quick. And this podcast again is about Steeler Nation keeping the positive energy. So this comment by Ed Cunningham was perfect to me. So just let's take a listen to this.
Ed Cunningham. He said, "Hello, Jeff. Great podcast on Monday. Very detailed analysis. Thank you." He said, "I have a thought for the fan base." So he actually sends a little image here. Here's what he writes. "My grandfather was a Steeler, an actual Steeler. 40 years at the First Sterling Steel Mill of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. He once had to fight a coworker on the street in front of the mill in order to win the highest paying job there, which was holding scrap steel in place with giant tongs while the 8-ton hammer came flying down, flattening it into sheets. He was stone deaf and had no hair on his body after 40 years in the mill. This is what a Steeler is. And an 8-ton hammer is what we're going to give Lamar Jackson. It is how we will win. TJ Watt knows this, and no one plays him better than us. I'm sick of everyone being so obsessed with losing the last 4 games. Playoffs means it's a new season, and dang it, I'm going to enjoy the game, and I'm expecting a victory, same as always. My question is, do you think to some extent Steeler fans are spoiled? Lions, Bills, Browns, these fans have a right to be mad, but Steeler fans have 6 Super Bowls. Perhaps the football gods are punishing us for acting like it shouldn't be so hard to win a playoff game. Suck it up, Steeler Nation. We're not that many pieces away from having another chance at the Lombardi Trophy. Enjoy this team despite their missteps. Hold on tight to the scrap steel. They're due for a win." I like that, Ed. I like that. A big shout out to your grandfather, who was an original Steeler, a steel man, like man in steel, working in the steel industry. Hey, always have faith. Always have hope. Without that, we have nothing.
Hey, let's win the last 4, all right? Look at me. Let's go. We can do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't doubt now. Yep. You feel me? Let's go win the last 4.
So, yeah, man. I mean, that is kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, it was terrible to doing our predictions. I believe when the schedule came out, Big G, I think, I thought the Steelers would be 11-6, 10-7 in that range. Thought they would be second place in the division because I expected Baltimore to win it. I expected Cincinnati to digress a little bit. I mean, however, when I had Cleveland, Cincinnati 3-4, Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh 2. So if you told me that they went 10-7 right before kickoff week, I would have wanted 11, maybe 12 wins. But 10-7, I think if you mixed it up and they didn't lose 4 straight, which means they're trending in the wrong direction, but they went 10-7 over the course of the year, not losing last 4 games, I think we'd look at it differently, right? So, that question, that comment really stuck with me. So I wanted to play it. Big G, you and I real quick are going to talk about the reasons the Steelers can win. I'm going to put this graphic up real quick. The first 2 are the Steelers' last 2 Super Bowl seasons. In 2005, they finished second place in the AFC North. They went from the wild card to 6th seed at the time, which was the lowest seed. They're 6th seed this year, and they won a Super Bowl. 11-5 team, second place in the North. That team had 5 Pro Bowlers and 3 All-Pros. The last Super Bowl they won in 2008, the team was 12-4. That team had 3 Pro Bowlers and 3 All-Pros. But they won the Super Bowl. They were in first place in the North that year. This year, again, they're second place in the North. They're the 6th seed again. They have 4 Pro Bowlers. We don't know about All-Pro yet. So I don't think this team is necessarily that far off in comparison to maybe, Kansas City put hands on us a few weeks ago. Buffalo don't really scare me. I think Buffalo gonna have a game against Denver, a tough game against Denver on Saturday, on Sunday, a tough game against them. So if the Steelers are playing a familiar opponent, familiar foe, we'll see how that goes. And lastly, Big G, and I'll go to you. This is just a stat board. Baltimore is favored by 10 points. The coaching matchup: Mike Tomlin is 20-15 against Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh has the better postseason record. Tomlin's 8-10. Harbaugh is 12-10. Career record: Mike Tomlin slightly better. Mike Tomlin has a slightly better winning percentage than Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh coached 1 year less than Tomlin. We look over. Russ is 9-7 in the playoffs in his career. Lamar Jackson is 2-4. Lamar Jackson is a 3-5 record versus the Steelers as a starter. The Steelers pressure Lamar Jackson higher than any other team in the league that he plays. Therefore, they give him the most problems. Lamar Jackson's QBR against Pittsburgh is 21.2. And his completion rate is down 59%. So these are just some of the reasons the Steelers come to play. If they come to play, they execute offensively. I have confidence in the defense. I don't think the defense is going to let Derrick Henry go wild on him again this game. I don't see that happening. But those are just some of the reasons why we can keep the positive energy and go from there. You got something to say, Shannon? Because I'm going to pass it over to Big G.
Yes, I don't want to cut in on Big G's time. It isn't the record. It isn't that they even lost 4 in a row. It's how they lose. It's when you look at the schemes and how antiquated they are. And they're not up to modern NFL standards at all. And they're still trying to win like it was the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and even 90s. They're not in modern NFL anymore. It's everything. When you really step back and you look at it objectively and honestly with an open mind and an open heart for the love of the team, the franchise, and the organization, I don't see how we can say that they're competitive in these situations and haven't been competitive in the playoffs since 2015. So, and they wasted some great talent in the Killer Bee eras and everything like that. It's the big picture. I'm not just talking about this 4-game debacle that we just went through. I'm talking about big picture.
Let's read that super chat from Corey Brown, man. Corey, thanks for the $9.99. Shannon, I like that you've been a Steelers fan since the 70s. We have dealt with the worst, the 80s, and we will continue to improve over as a team. Detroit has been garbage for years. Just my opinion. Okay.
That's true. Detroit has been garbage forever. I think Barry Sanders had one good playoff run. They lost to the Commanders, the Redskins at the time, in the NFC Championship game back in like 91-ish, 92-ish. And they weren't good really for a long time, up until 2 or 3 years ago. I do agree with Shannon again. I think Tomlin has to give up the reins a little bit. And I think you were talking about the other day, Big G. Tomlin needs to be more of a CEO. He don't need to have his hand in every pot. He needs to empower Arthur Smith, who's a former head coach, to run his offense. Don't put your 2 cents in the game plan. Arthur Smith know what he's doing offensively. You hired him and trust him to do that. If he wants to be aggressive, let him be aggressive. Go ahead, Shannon.
Shannon about to get the big fine. He froze. Shannon, your mic went out, bro. Your mic went out. I think you might have went disconnected. Nope, say it again.
Said, so how did they get to 10-3? It said, how did they get to 10-3? They were playing other mediocre teams. This keeps happening. They do okay against the mediocre teams. They're right there in that average, above average, slightly above average every year. But when they play the good teams, the true contenders, they're not competitive. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I definitely agree with you. They beat the Broncos. They beat the Chargers, their playoff teams. They lost to the Chiefs. But they beat the Ravens too. They lost to the Ravens.
Mm.
I mean, so is that 3 of the 6 other playoff teams that they beat? They got whooped by Kansas City. And any other playoff team they lose to?
Philadelphia.
Not in the AFC.
Oh, okay, no, not in the AFC.
Yeah, so I think Shannon's right. And I think the part of that problem is not part of that problem, but in addition to that problem, they lose some games they shouldn't lose. That's the bigger problem to me. When you lose to the Colts, when you lose to Dallas, and whatever the third game they lost when they went 10-3. Justin Fields lost to the Colts in Dallas. And the Browns. Cleveland Browns, yeah. So you can't give up those games. If you didn't give up those games and you lost 4 straight, then you're looking at 13-4. Win the game you're supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but they did have a tough end of the season schedule. Big G, coming to you, man. You tell me why you think Pittsburgh can get a win in their first playoff win since 2016. Because it's been bad since 2016 in the playoffs. The problem is they start slow and they get down quick. I mean, if I remember correctly, that first year in 17 against Jacksonville, they was down 28-0. In Buffalo last year, they was down 21-0. TJ Watt scored a return touchdown, fumble return against Kansas City. We was up 7-0. Then Kansas City scored the next 35 points. So these slow starts are killing the Steelers. But Big G, what's different this week, man?
Well, first of all, let me say this. I have faith in the Steelers as an organization and as a team. I have faith, okay? The issue is, and this is what I totally believe, I think there's more of a state of urgency of why Pittsburgh can win this game more than what a lot of people think. I personally think and feel that Tomlin is coaching for his life. I think Mike Tomlin sees the writing on the wall, and he knows because, ladies and gentlemen, let's just state facts. Mike Tomlin could care less about all the chatter that goes on out there in Pittsburgh concerning him as a coach. He don't care about that. He doesn't care about us talking heads, media people. He doesn't. But what bothers him is when that talk starts coming from inside the locker room and inside the ownership and inside the organization. That bothers him. And believe me right now, there's a lot of chatter around Mike Tomlin. So this is a gut check game. So more than any other reason, I think that this is the reason they can win. It's a gut check game. We're going to really find out who these guys really are. I'm not just talking about Coach T. I'm not just talking about Arthur Smith and the rest of the coaching staff. I'm not even just talking about the players in Pittsburgh because, in my opinion, it's a conglomerate of everybody stinking up the joint, all the way from the head coach to every player on the field. It's a conglomerate. But the issue is sometimes when you back a dog in a corner, they come out fighting and they come out biting. And I think there's a state of urgency with the Steelers, more than most people think, feel, and believe. Because I really do believe that this is one of them times where, and when the season's all over with, and we sit back and they look, this might be one of the ones where Tomlin says, man, I'm out of here, dog. I'm just tired of it. And it could be. So it's gut check time across the board for everybody. And so anytime you back a dog in a corner, we're going to find out what kind of dog they are. So that's why I think they'll win more than anything. That's going to take a total 150% effort for every player on this team to be ultra focused and do their damn job. If they just do their job, they put themselves in position to win games. As horrible as they played against the Cincinnati Bengals, if they do their damn job, Russell Wilson just doesn't lock in on one guy. A couple of guys secure some blocks. A couple of guys make some stops on defense. One or two guys here and there. The game changes. Now, from all fairness, I'm sick of seeing that out of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. I would rather have you be 5-12, 6 and whatever, lose some games, get some draft picks, and change the culture versus being stuck there. But guess what? I'm an optimist by understanding that that's who we are as an identity as Pittsburgh. So because that's our identity, that's who we play, that's who we're up against, this is the type of game you're going to have to get out of Pittsburgh based on the current construction of the 53-man roster. If you don't play with maximum effort and everybody doesn't do their damn job, they're going to get blown out. But if they play with maximum effort and they give it everything that they got and they act like that they want to be there and want to compete, they can beat anybody. The issue is, what are you going to do, Pittsburgh? It's a gut check. So are you going to play to your potential, or are you just going to roll over and get your behinds kicked? It could be BTA in either way. I think Baltimore could put BTA on us, and I think we could put BTA on them. But what type of effort are you going to give? We know we have organizational problems. We know we have depth problems at certain positions. We know we have players that play lackadaisical. We know sometimes it looks like Rusty has lost all his juice. We know sometimes it looks like the running game's nonchalant. We know sometimes it looks like we can't stop anybody on defense. But when we play with the effort that we need to play with, we can win. So outside of X's and O's, God knows, y'all know me. I watch more all-22 film than the average person. I watch it a lot. And I see what happens in those film breakdowns. And what I got an issue or problem with concerning the Steelers the last 4 games is there's been absolutely no effort. The effort has been lackadaisical. You're a professional, y'all. Go do what you got to do to win the game. Stop waiting for someone else to make a play. Stop waiting for somebody else to get excited, to jump up and do their job. You do your job. And then once you do your job and you control your 20 feet, then everybody else can control their 20 feet. And that's how the Steelers can win, Tate. That's my opinion.
No, I like that. I like that train of thought. Another super chat from the Matrix, the homie Claude Bishop. Thanks for the $2, Claude. Super chat says if they lose, then Tomlin is gone.
I could believe it. I truly do believe it.
If he's gone, it's at his own choice.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, because they won't fire him, and they can't trade him unless he wants to go somewhere. He has a no trade clause.
Right.
So it'll be at his discretion what happens there. But Big G, I agree with a lot of what you said. I agree with a lot of what you said. I think players got to come to play. I like the way Deshaun Elliott plays. Mm-hmm. He plays that game in which you're talking about. He plays with effort. He plays with fire. He plays with attitude. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I haven't seen that fire, that energy, and that stuff from Minka this year. Mm. We need Minka to come out and be a little bit more passionate about what he's doing. Mm-hmm. TJ comes with it, but TJ, like Shannon says, tired. I mean, we need to do something to scheme TJ, put him somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Put him in the middle. Let him hit the A-gap. I mean, move him around. Don't let Baltimore just plan on, he's right there. This is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. You know? I think Patrick Queen's going to have a big game this week. Mm. I'll potentially see him having a big game. Joey Porter Jr. brings it. His physicality is a level why he gets penalties all the time. He's just a physical football player like his dad was. Mm-hmm. So, they have some players on that side of the ball. Elandon Roberts can be big against a game with Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. But we're going to take one more quick break as we read the homie Corey Brown super chat. Let's call a spade. Russ has played like trash. The defense did their part last weekend. The offense was a no-show. 100% agreed.
Facts.
Russ, I don't know what's wrong with Russ, especially like the whole game. He got hot in the fourth quarter, but they was making ridiculous decisions in that last 2-minute drive. Mm. Why he would throw that 3-yard pass behind the line of scrimmage to Najee and you only got one timeout trying to get a field goal? You better off throwing incompletion. Same thing when you rolled right and ran the ball, then you didn't even have right about you turned your shoulder up and turned to the inside of the field. That was a dumb play, Russ. You're in the game because you're a veteran, and we expect you to make the best decisions in those instances. And you have in the past, but you ain't did it for us. So, I think Russ is the kind of leader, though, that he's mature. He'll get his guys to rally, and we just need to see his performance. And I really think it's about offensive execution. Defense did their job, holding Joe Burrow to 19 points. Me and B Dirt, I bet they wouldn't score over 24. And they didn't. So even though the Steelers lost, I won a bet with B Dirt. But to hold Joe Burrow to under 20 points, defense played good enough. I mean, they gave up some yards. That bend don't break. I'm not always with that. Like I said, I want them to be aggressive. If they come out and get points, they can be aggressive. Because you got some wiggle room now. You know what I mean? You play so tight and so close to the vest, you don't allow yourself wiggle room. So I like to see them do that. But real quick, Juice, thanks for $1.99. I love Mika, but he take the chat now. But he became a dad. I think he's different. He did become a dad, and he could be different. I mean, he was surprised he made the Pro Bowl. He was surprised, So real quick, we're gonna take one more quick break. If you're watching on YouTube, we're not going anywhere. If you listen on audio, we have to hear a few words from our advertisers and partners, pay some bills around this camp. And then we're going to come back and get into the final keys of the game and keep this thing under 60 minutes. We at like 47 now. So we're going to go ahead and take this quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. And we're back for the final C block of the Pump Your Brakes podcast. Get them algorithms up. I was going to say the same thing, Big G. Glad to see the sign man hold the number one sign up. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't, subscribe to the Steel Curtain Network, which I think a lot of people that rock with us have subscribed to the network. So subscribe, but, like this video also. Myself, Big G, and Shannon try and bring you guys good dialogue, good conversation on both ends of the spectrum. I mean, we gonna give you some of the strengths like Big G and myself did, and give some of the opportunities like Shannon Good did. I don't like to say weaknesses. I don't like strengths and weaknesses. I like strengths and opportunities, because where you say somebody is weak, it's really just a chance and opportunity to get better. So they have some opportunities to improve their play this week. And I think it starts with, like Big G said, effort, the 2 E's, effort and execution. So fellas, let's get into it. Let's just talk about how we see this game playing out. Shannon, I'm coming to you first. How do you see this game playing out? How do you see it, the script? If you're writing a skip script, predicting the game, how would you write it?
Well, again, regrettably, being honest, I think that they're going to come out and they're going to try to run the ball and establish that, which the Ravens are really good against the run. It's not going to work. They're going to try to complete passes on 3rd and long. Don't know if Pickens will show up or not.
Can I ask you a question, Shannon, my brother?
Yes.
So they have been doing that. That has been the script. So you think they're going to come out like that again? Because I see them coming out like they did in 05 when the 6th seed, they traveled to Denver and Ben came out throwing the ball. Everybody was surprised at that. I mean, different coaching regime, different offensive coordinator, but I think that has to be the first move. You have to have a level of aggressiveness from go, because your last 5 or 6 playoff games, you got blown out in the first quarter. So you have to do something different.
Oh, I totally agree, but I don't think they can. I will not.
Okay.
I will not compare that 2005 team to this team.
If they can't, I can live with that. But will they try? That's my question.
I mean, every time they say, well, how many times have we heard the last 4 years? Oh, there's going to be big changes, and the towel boy changes, or the water boy, or they change somebody on the practice squad. Nothing changes. Nothing. And if nothing changes, if you change nothing, nothing changes. So I just expect more of the same. The only hope I have is that they'll bring in Fields for a few packages, give him a series or two, and he might get a big play, get him some momentum, keep him in the game early, and then the defense can make some plays because you know that they're capable. But I'm scared that it's going to be more of the same because they talk a big game about making changes, but they never do it. So I'll believe it when I see it.
Big G, your script to the game.
I believe in totality, and it might just be by accident. Mikael Pruitt's not going to play. He's not going to play. He's hurt. There's a roster spot available. I think Roman Wilson's going to play. And I think if Roman Wilson comes in, they're going to go 2-by-2. For you guys that don't know, that's not 11 personnel. I think you're going to see some plays with 2-by-2 just because of play calling. And I think by going 2-by-2, it'll give them an opportunity to get vertical more than what they normally have. But I am telling you, if you don't see Justin until like the second quarter, it's going to be too late. Justin has to be in the game in the first quarter. He has to be in the game because Justin provides a spark to play 11-on-11 football. And if you play 11-on-11 football against the Baltimore Ravens, they don't like that because that's what they see in practice. They see it with Lamar Jackson, and they don't like that. You do to a team what they don't like. So I think there's a possibility, just a possibility, that Roman Wilson's going to get a hat. And I think, because I think that George Pickens is not just playing for his future today, he's playing for his future up the road. And George Pickens knows that he can't lay an egg in the playoffs. He knows it. Now, he might want out of Pittsburgh, which a lot of us think, feel, and believe. But he knows he's playing for his job. So I think because of that,
he's playing for his money too.
Right.
Well, whether it be some type of Pittsburgh contract or somewhere else, he's playing for his bag too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shannon, go ahead and read the super chat from Steeler Girl 1277.
He froze.
4th and 1, and you have Rustin Patterson, Goofy out there. Should be Fields and Najee. Amen. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. They don't utilize their strengths. And yes, exactly. Just a small part of everything I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I mean, for 4th and 1, how much better is Fields and Najee than Russ and Patterson?
So now listen, I watched that on all 22 film. I don't care if Superman would have been out there. That play would have got blown up because they totally missed the blocks on the offensive line. Dan Moore Jr. completely missed his block. Jones completely missed his block.
Wasn't it Fryer move too?
Fryer move completely missed their blocks. That play would have got blown up. What should have happened is you should have put Justin Fields up underneath center or put Russ up underneath center, put 2 tight ends and pushed him. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, they should not even push Russ. Justin Fields, you're right. They should develop their own version of the touch push. It's not a hard play. You got a big 6'3", 225-pound quarterback that got speed, that can't run. Put that guy in and come push him. Pause. Push him up his rear.
Yeah. Push him forward.
You know,
that's what they should have done.
Push.
But there was horrible effort on the 4th and 1. That's why I'm on this whole effort kick for the Steelers, man. Horrible. Last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it alone. I don't think the Steelers have ever galvanized as a team. When I do a reflection and look back of 2024, I think the biggest issue is that the Steelers never galvanized as a team. I don't think that they ever came together and became a team.
No diddy. No Diddy. You got to chill.
That was for acting because I gave myself a no Diddy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think they ever came together as a team. I really don't believe it. And I think that when, like I said, when you back a dog in a corner, you got to come out fighting together or you're going to get mopped. And if they're really a pack and they have a pack mentality in this ball game, yeah, they can get it done.
That's critical, Big-G. I like that. The pack mentality. Get out there, get after like a crazed pack of dogs. Another super chat from the homie, the governor. It must be pretty good living out there in the Matrix in that governor's mansion, man. We appreciate you, Claude. Claude for the 5 again. Thank you very much. Claude says bottom line is that the O-line got to play like men instead of like little boys, and they'll be fine. 27-20, black and gold. Okay, I like that, Claude.
I'm worried about Mason McCormick, man. I'm worried about his hands broke. And I don't know how they're going to club or fit him. I don't know that.
He said he's not wearing a club, so he's wearing a brace of some sort. So
yeah.
We'll definitely see how that goes. We'll be looking at that. But I mean, I think it's easier to run block than pass block. But I mean, you got to get the ball out quick. I mean, a lot of those plays were when the line, which is again reason to play Justin Fields. When the line breaks down, get somebody that can get out of there and take that 4-yard run Russ got and dive it on the ground. Somebody that can pop it and take it to the house. So, lastly, guys, my game script is. And then we're gonna make our score predictions. My game script is Steelers come out with a little more urgency and aggressiveness than they had the past 4 weeks or the past 5 playoff games. Mm-hmm. I mean, Tomlin, the last playoff game they lost was to the Browns, right? In 2020. Yep. I mean, not the last one they lost, but one they lost where we got behind that game. Being through 5 interceptions. That was a COVID game. No crowd was there. Did we play in Cleveland or we played in Pittsburgh? We played in Pittsburgh, right? But no crowd was there because of COVID.
Yep.
So yeah, man, we just got to come out with urgency and with some type of fast start. You know what I mean? Get off to a fast start, set the tone, and go from there. Fifth Flow with the super chat, $5. Thanks, Fifth Flow. What's his name?
The entire Steelers offense is broke. So fix it. That's facts.
That is facts.
But how you fix it is effort.
And execution.
You fix it with effort and execution. That's how you fix it. You can't have the drops that they had, the critical drops that they had. That's execution. You can't have the missed blocks that you had. You can't have Russie locking in on one receiver and missing guys on crossing routes or holding on to the ball too long. You can't have cornerbacks 8-9 yards off of a guy and giving him a full cushion. You can't have Patrick Queen playing like he doesn't understand what a green dot is, right? You can't have that. So the effort goes along with the execution. But the issue is they got to play. That's how you galvanize a team. I'll go in and fight all day and night with a dude in a war if I know he's got my back. But when I know he's going to give a half-bleed effort and he's not going to give no effort and fight, then I'm not going into battle with him. And that's why I think that the Steelers never galvanized. There was a lot of guys in that locker room that was pissed off that they switched quarterbacks. It'll never come out publicly, but it happened. Tomlin hitched his wagons to Russ. So now you made your bed, lay in it, right?
Because he loves his veterans. But
Correct.
Okay, so we can wrap up on time. I'm gonna make my score prediction first. Then Shannon, we'll go to you because I know we think we know which direction you're going if we don't know your score prediction. Then Big G, we'll hopefully finish on a positive note with you. But hopefully, I know I'm gonna go positive with this one because I'm really ready to see the Steelers win a playoff game. I think they can. I think the matchup against Baltimore is what they needed. If they beat Baltimore, they put one of the top 3 teams out, and that gives them confidence going into either Buffalo or Kansas City. So I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this game. I think they open it up a little bit. I think these games are usually outside the last time. It was 34-17. And that's when Derrick Henry got a big late run in the fourth quarter that kind of blew that game open. I got the Steelers win this game. I'm going to say they scored 27 points. I'm going to say the score is 27-20 Steelers. Another super chat from Bruh Man, Fifth Flow. The Steelers are we going to get Saturday? What's the okay? Yeah, that's the question. We need the Steelers that Big G is talking about, effort and execution.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Steelers we need. But Shannon, coming to you for your score prediction, bro.
Well, I wanted to mention the mayor shared fun fact. Dan Moore give up the most sacks in the NFL of any tackle this year.
Wow,
and
really?
Tied for second was Broderick Jones. So it's not good. Easy pick for me, 34-17 Ravens.
Oh, a duplicate of the last meeting. So you think the Ravens should be a 10-point favorite?
Yes.
Okay. Big G, coming to you.
Pittsburgh wins. Yeah.
Get out there and look into your G-Stradamus crystal ball. I know you got somewhere over there.
I already did it. I already been looked into it. I looked to see what was going to happen. Pittsburgh Steelers win the game in Baltimore 21-20. 21-20. Late touchdown wins the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 21-20.
Who gets the late touchdown?
Najee Harris.
Okay.
Najee Harris scores.
He's done that before against Baltimore in Baltimore with Kenny Pickett's the quarterback. So possibility.
21-20.
Yeah. Lastly, we ready to get out of here. I have one thing I wanted to say, but I don't remember what it was now. So I won't worry about it. But you guys got anything to close with?
No, absolutely not. Thank you guys again for rocking with us, man. I won't see you guys till next week. So after the Steelers game, I'll see you Sunday on the Know It Alls podcast. I won't be around Friday, man. I got some stuff to do. But I just want to thank everybody in the live chat, man, who rocked with us all year. Pump Your Brakes is one of the most popular shows on Steel Curtain Network. It wouldn't be without the participation with the people that watch us, our chat generals, all those other people that rock with us on Steel Curtain Network. So, because I won't see you guys again until next week after the season is either over or we're moving on to the next game. I want to take an opportunity right now today to thank you guys for rocking with us and making Pump Your Brakes one of the most popular shows on Steel Curtain Network.
Thanks, Big G. Shannon, you.
Just want to, again, say I'm sorry. I wish I could be more encouraging and hopefully we have brighter days ahead. And I appreciate everybody.
So go real quick, just the name. Give me a name between the two. Next year, Russ or Justin?
Justin.
G?
Justin all day and night and twice on Sunday.
Justin for me as well. And with that being said, we're going to get out. Last thing I want to say is Big G won't be there, but B Dirt, Pay, and myself will be there. The Homies podcast. We're going to be talking more about this game. We'll talk about the Browns being on the clock with the number 2 pick. I think the Bengals pick somewhere in the teens. We'll talk about that with Pay and B Dirt. And just whatever else football comes up. We got the playoff bracket ready to go. We'll talk about a lot of different stuff. So be sure to join us on Friday for that. And until Friday night for the Homies, I'll be there. Big G won't. And until next Wednesday, we're back on Pump Your Brakes. Check Shannon out on Monday. On the hangover, he missed this week because of weather and internet stuff, but he'll be back on Monday, so check him out on there. And Daniel J. And we'll talk to you guys hopefully after a Steeler dub. Until then, we out. Peace.